What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Iron Purpose podcast featuring my brother Jonas Boelter. We dive into the topic of adversity, and it is one that I think a lot of people can relate to. Everybody goes through difficult times in their life, and it's not about winning or losing. It's not about succeeding or failing. It's about how you respond to those events in your life and how you're able to keep on going through them and the different lessons that you can learn as a result of them. And oftentimes ones that you would never saw coming, ones that you never thought you were able to get. You never thought you would be able to get through this, and somehow you do, and you're better as a result. That's something that Jonas and I both experienced in many portions of our lives, and we dive deep into it. We talk about UFC 314, Michael Chandler's loss. We talk about kind of my journey going to school and our parents divorcing, and just how we're able to get through all those things to become better people as a result. It was a lot of fun. Always a good time talking to Jonas. It was my latest recording, right around midnight, so we may look a little tired, but that's what energy drinks are for, huh? All right, let's get after it. Stay sharp, everybody. So we got a fun episode today. This is what I've been thinking about for a little bit, especially with getting back to work and coming back from vacation. We're going to talk about something that everybody goes through in their life, and that is a little bit of adversity. For those who don't know who I am Bailey Boelter, and this is Jonas Boelter, my brother. And we've done a couple of these together now. He's been on quite a few times. And if you want to know a little bit more about his story, you can go back. I don't remember off the top of my head which episode it was, but he's got his own episode. I'll be doing these shorter episodes called JABS, which means Journey Alignment Brings Success. And I was like, hey, I want to do one? He's like, sure, let's do it. And this one might end up being a little bit longer, but we'll see, just because I think of how long we could talk about this topic. But
all right, this movement outside my door.
Like who?
It's Mom.
What is she doing?
I don't know.
She's trying to eavesdrop? Is the door open?
No,
She's probably just probably inspecting.
Dude, that thing was dialed.
What'd you do with all your stuff?
Oh, it's in boxes. So, like I said, for everybody who doesn't know what's going on, I had to clean the spare bedroom, and the spare bedroom is my storage unit. That's where I keep all my activity. Oh, she's putting the sheets on the bed. That's what she's doing.
She's gonna interrupt soon.
Probably. What are you doing? But no, yeah, I had snowboarding gear, hunting gear, just cold weather work gear. I found 3 golf clubs in there actually, and I was actually pretty stoked about it because they're not in my bag, and I didn't know I had them.
Are they yours?
Oh yeah, they're mine, but they were from like, oh, they're mine. Promise, trust, big trust. No, they're from because when the gardens closed, remember Gardens Course?
Mm-hmm.
They threw all their clubs away, and I worked at Granby at the time, and I snagged those puppies out of the garbage.
Yeah. So awesome.
So like my 3 wood, my 5 wood, and my 4 wood, my 5 and 4 wood now are from Granby.
I don't know enough about golf to know when to use what and how to use what and everything. So I'm gonna have to go with you guys one of these times to kind of how to do it. I'm gonna flip my hat around.
Me mom were talking about that because I was practice swinging in the living room because I was on one, and I was like, "Mom, you should golf with me sometime." She's like, I don't know. I was like, it'd be fun, but it's definitely something you need to practice, and I don't. So I just spent $150 to go with the buddies and just shank my balls into the woods.
You should get like a part-time gig mowing lawns somewhere at like a golf course, and then you could get some.
Rather die. Not actually, okay. But I think it's a good idea if I wanted to do that.
I have some coworkers who do that just to kind of, well, they're a little bit more towards retirement age, but
yeah, no, I have one guy that does that I know. Just works like the bare minimum just to get the employee discount.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so clutch. Instead of getting there and they're like, yeah, it's $150. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, see that I can't really swing right now.
No,
Especially if you want to go multiple times. Like, how the heck is anybody supposed to feed their families after the fact? You probably get it cheaper if you get memberships and stuff, right?
Yeah, we were looking at places, but it's like a Grandview membership. There's like a couple grand. And it's
Well, yeah, they
like,
got to make
oh,
it worth it.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, for sure. But at the same time, it's like I'd rather if I get a membership there, then I'm only restricted to like playing two courses. I kind of like they're like,
Mm,
oh, we haven't played this one in a while, let's go there, or we haven't played this one, let's go there.
that's a good point.
But
There's
we've
plenty
been
in the
playing.
area.
Oh, there's a ton. We are very blessed with good golf courses around here. But we've been at the Pines like 6 times this year already.
Hmm.
It adds up, but
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah, I'd like to go one of these times. At least just to, it's always a good time just getting out there in the elements with some good buddies and trying. I'm awful at golf, so you're just waiting
Oh
for the door to open up.
no, she went upstairs. I was
Oh,
waiting.
okay.
And I think Ethan's home.
I saw Ethan today. He was driving around. I was on a run with John. We were going by Whipple. We were just running past Whipple, and Ethan drove by. Like, oh, yep, there's Ethan.
How was the run?
This
Was it
is
good?
It was good. Yeah, we went for 3 miles. I'm trying to do a little bit more
Ew.
running. Yeah, it's not the funnest, but it's good for my
Actually, I think
lungs.
Memorial Day. I think I'm gonna do a Murph at the gym. If you want to do that,
Yeah, I'm down.
it's gonna suck, but weighted
Yeah.
vest and all. But anyways, let's get into this puppy.
I was about to say, this is a record. This is, I think, the latest that I've recorded an episode.
I'm
It's
definitely feeling
currently
it. I'm definitely feeling it. But
a little tired, a little
yep.
drowse. It's 10:54 p.m. and I had the lights off earlier. I was trying to do a different setup, and it just wasn't working right. So we're rolling with this one, and I'm actually really excited about it. So a couple weeks ago, I got the opportunity to go to UFC 314 in Miami, Florida, and it was insane. It was experience like it was everything that I would imagined, other than my favorite fighter, Michael Chandler, did not win, and like the entire night, I was like eagerly anticipating his fight, his walkout, like everything that entails with it. And the fight before, I was sitting there. I don't even remember what happened in the fight before. About I was just so like, he's coming up next. Who was it? Oh, it was Pitbull, I think. And Yar Rodriguez.
Yeah, because it was Mitchell, Bryce Mitchell
Right.
before, and then that
Yeah,
one, and then Chandler.
yeah, and then the title fight after that. But the fight before Chandler's, I couldn't even pay attention. I looked down and I took a picture on my watch. It said like 112 was my resting heart rate, and it was climbing, and it climbed higher than that. I just didn't take a picture of it, but I hit Dave, and I'm like, Dave, look at this. He's like, dude, you need to calm down. Like, I'm trying to breathe, man. Like, I can't. He needs to win. He needs to win if he wants to continue to progress. And he went out in the first round and did some good controlling. Got a couple good hits in. Took Patty to the ground and kind of had his way with him a little bit. But then the second round, Patty came out swinging, and then third
Mm-hmm.
round, Michael took a knee to the face, and that kind of was the beginning of the end for that fight. He ended up going down, and there was a lot of blood. And
That was
the ref,
bad. It was a
yeah,
bloody mess.
the ref kind of saved him at the end. I think he was continuing to still try to fight and get position, and then he just covered up, and he's just like, "This, what do you do at that point?" So it was tough. I'm a very passionate person, and when I get into something, I get into it and I become invested in it. And I don't know, he's one of those stories. He's one of those people that I've really just been invested in his story because it has made a huge impact positively on my life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm so invested in that and he ends up losing, like I feel it. I just like I just like, if that's how the night ended, it would have been rough. Like, but I'm trying. Like, I get so passionate with sports, like Vikings and stuff too. Like one of my coworkers is like, Bailey, why are you getting so upset? Like, the game's over. There's nothing you could do about it. Like, what's the point? And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, I can be upset during the game. He gave me permission for that. But once it's over with, if they didn't win, like, there's nothing you could do to change it anyway. So why are you letting it ruin your day? And that's kind of carried over into like volleyball and stuff too. Like, where if we lose and it sucks, like we could still afterwards. I'm like, all right, well, that's over with. Let's have a drink or two and have fun with friends.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because
Like,
just
we're just so competitive for the leagues we play in,
mm-hmm.
and that's what kind of like kickball and volleyball. Like, yeah, like we know we should win, and like we're good enough to win. Then we just like lose. We're just like it just ruins me. You know, come on.
Just
But
defeated. Call up Rob. Rob, we're coming. It's
yeah,
not
you
good. We're gonna need
okay.
more.
If Rob's not working, I'm gonna freak out.
For no reason.
Yeah.
But same thing, man. Like, going into this fight and like the whole day leading up to it, being so excited to go watch him fight, it was still awesome. It was an amazing experience getting to
Mm,
like I said, listen to his walkout and watch him walk out and fight in person. After getting a chance to meet with him and talk with him a little bit previously within the past year, it's so like it's just like a connection on a deeper level. Like a lot of people were like, "Oh man, that fight was awful." Like, "Hey, sorry your guy lost." Like I just so connected with it. So it like
yeah.
it hurt on a deeper level. One of my
Hmm.
buddies was like, "Hey, it sucks when our favorite fighters lose." And I'm just like, man, like this is it's just more than that. Like his
No.
son was in attendance. Like you don't understand. Like that was the
Yeah.
second fight that Hap got to go to, and to watch like your dad or that person that you really like. For him, as his son, to view that, to watch his dad just get smoked and in a very bad fashion, and for it to not go the way that it should have gone. Like
Hmm.
he should have
On
mopped the
pay
floor
like
with Patty.
that's what I've said. Like because all the guys were betting against me. I was like, there's no way. On paper, Chandler wins in a blowout, like 99 out of 100 times. Like
Mm-hmm.
manhandles him, and then yeah, as soon as he got that knee to the face, I was like, it's not good.
Game over.
But then
So
like in every single fight he's had, like top five guys, he's always cracked them and like had him. We were like, oh, freaking out. But yeah, it was really tough to watch. And we were in the movie theater. It was Grant, me, James, and Shay watching it. And every time I've been in the movie theater, we watch Chandler fight. No one roots for him. So I'm like standing up like, let's go, Chandler, like freaking out. And they're all like, Patty,
uh-huh.
just
That's what it was
irks
like in the
me.
arena. It's like everybody booed when he was coming out. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
They all think he's a cheater. There's this narrative, and it's like it's just not true. It's just not. And that's my belief. But
yeah.
watching him get beat like that, like afterwards, I was like, man, that really sucks. I don't know what he's gonna do now. He didn't go on Bussin' with the Boys like he always does. Like he said, I'm gonna go on Bussin' with the Boys, whether I win or lose, and I'm gonna go on a podcast. At least I haven't checked in a while. I guess I've been a little busy. I have puke on my shirt. I noticed that earlier, and I was like, nah, I'm not
I
gonna
was
change
like,
it.
I was like, would you get like a new diabetic thing that's on your arm now? Because like your quality's kind of spotty.
Yeah, my quality is spotty, but there's puke right here. That's from my son. So it's yeah, life's been a little busy.
Yeah, you're
But
like,
just
I was when you were doing that, I was thinking the Transformers, like the light.
got this light. It's reflected off the disco ball.
Just go, oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh man.
All
But
time movies. Carry on.
good time. Yeah, Transformers 1, awesome. Shia LaBeouf, shout out. Come on the show. Um
Be
but yeah,
crazy.
after watching him lose the way that he did, and like seeing the octagons down there during the title fight, like the pool of blood that was still left there from him getting beat, he had to leave the octagon right away and go get medical attention to get his face stitched up. So he didn't even get to stay out there. And people are like, "Is he going to retire? Is he done?" And he didn't post anything on social media for like 3 days. And I was just like,
Hmm.
man, that sucks. Like to lose in that fashion, thinking that he was going to come out there, get a win, and then maybe get another win and be that much closer to getting a shot at the title again.
Yeah.
And not too much longer after that, he came out with it was like behind the scenes footage of from his wife who had recorded it, and it was him and his son, and he was standing there and he's all cut up and his face is all swollen, and he's talking to him, and they're doing cheers with like little look like Nutella sticks or
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
something,
That's what it was.
and
Yep.
they were doing like a little cheers beforehand, and he was saying like and don't quote me on this, but pretty much saying like Chandlers are going to go through difficult things in their life, and it's like people are going to go through tough times, and things aren't always going to go the way that they are, but we're going to keep going. We're going to do it with a smile on our face, and we're going to pretty much live to see another day kind of thing. We're not going to let these defeats get us down, and it's not the wins or the losses. It's the journey as a result of those circumstances. And I was sitting in the pool when I watched that video, and like holding Caden after going to the fights and everything, and then driving back to where Courtney and Caden and Jody were at, getting a chance to hold him and like look at him in the eyes, and that's such a more valuable lesson than the wins and the losses. Like that adversity that you go through, and looking at Caden at that time, it's like I want to be able to continue to go through and fight for things, even if I am losing. Like even if
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't go according to plan, I want to be able to continue to do that. So someday when he's like, "Dad, I'm scared," or "Dad, how do I do this?" or "How do you know that you can do this?" and it's like, well, because I was able to do it then. I was able to get through it. Like for him to look up at me and know that, hey, Dad's here, everything's gonna be okay. This is the proof in the pudding. We
Mm-hmm.
don't always need that. Nobody's perfect. And I think the important thing is like you just hold on to the fact that you're still trying. And that was another
Mm-hmm.
thing with him. Like when we were in the hospital when he was first born, he was laying there and I had to change him for one of the first, like the first or second time. And he was peeing all over the place and he pooped and like he was just crying and so distraught. And I was like, I started taking it like personally, and that was like the first like mental like, oh man, like start. I didn't really panic, but I kind of got hit with like this anxiety of, oh man, I just failed him. Like I don't want to fail this little guy, and I
Yeah.
really took it personally because he was screaming and crying, and then I couldn't fix it fast enough. And I kind of sat down, and Courtney was like, as long as you never give up on him, as long as you never abandon him, like you can't fail him as long as you're trying. And there was another time just a couple nights ago where I was getting frustrated. I was rocking him, trying to put him to sleep. And he was screaming and crying, and there's nothing I could do to calm him down. And normally I'm pretty chill with that kind of stuff. Like it's like, all right, he's gonna cry. He wants his mom anyways because he's hungry, and I can't do that. So,
Yeah.
so like, there's nothing. He's not mad at me. There's nothing I could do to just ease his hunger right now, unless I had a bottle, which I didn't at the time because he was gonna get fed. But I started to get frustrated with myself, and I was like, had to like breathe through it. Like, all right, hey, you're getting frustrated, maybe a little bit anxious, just breathe through it.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back at that, I was like, I didn't give myself the grace in those moments. I was starting to get frustrated with myself for not being able to calm him down. And then I got upset that I was frustrated with him. But it's like, I didn't fail. Like, as long as I'm trying, like Courtney said earlier, as long as I don't give up on him or abandon him, it wasn't a failure. Like, a failure would have been me standing up, laying him on the ground, and walking away, going, all right, Courtney, he's all yours. Good luck. Or like,
Yeah.
not even trying, not even picking him up, not even wanting to at least attempt to do that. And I kind of look back at Chandler's fight in that same way. Like people rip him, like they're giving him all these like threats. Like his wife posted a video of how like proud of him she was, and people were just throwing all these nasty comments in there, like he should retire. He's awful. It's like the guy's in the UFC. He's fighting the top guys. He's fighting Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira. All these guys are going to be Hall of Famers someday. Like
Mm-hmm.
who are you to say that he's a that he's a sellout or that he's a
You're sitting on your
a
couch
fake, a
eating a bag
phony?
of chips and you're 200
Yeah,
pounds overweight.
yeah. Like it's like he's trying, man. He's going after his goals. And um, one more thing, and I'll let you comment on it if you want, because I've been kind of going a long way here. But
There you go.
um, what's his name? Michael Bisping. He's an analyst for the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
He put out a thing saying like Michael Chandler's done. Maybe he's retired. Maybe he should retire. Maybe he should take less. You know, that 11 o'clock is showing.
Yeah.
Um, he said maybe he should fight people who aren't ranked or that are lower. Shouldn't be fighting these top guys anymore. And he said, I think that he said no more see you at the top business. And like I wear, I'm not wearing the hat right now. It must be in my bathroom, but see you at the top. Oh, there it is, right there. It's a quote that he's got from Zig Ziglar. And I looked up, what "see you at the top" means to Zig Ziglar when he sent it, because I know what it means for myself, and I know what it means for Michael. But when Zig Ziglar says "see you at the top," it's both the title of his famous book and it's a mantra packed with a meaning. At its core, it's a message of hope, encouragement, and vision. Here's what he meant by it, and this is ChatGPT. Shout out ChatGPT.
It's a wizard.
Everyone has potential, no matter your background, struggles, or current situation. You have what it takes to rise, to grow, succeed, and have a meaning and live a meaningful life. The top isn't just success, it's significance. Zig didn't just mean money or status. The top is about becoming your best self, building strong character, serving others, and leaving a legacy. And he's on a journey with you, saying "see you at the top" wasn't from a pedestal. It wasn't from a pedestal, like saying I'm at the top and I'm better than you. it was an invitation, like, let's grow together. I believe in you. I'm gonna see you at the top as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that's meant to me. And I can't believe I pointed at the sign. I literally have it tattooed on my arm, and that's one of the reasons for it. It's like, it's not about the championships. It's not about the titles. It's not about the money or the fame. It's about the journey
Mm-hmm.
along the way, and it's about leaving a lasting impact for those who are struggling through something. And honestly, I think Michael benefits more from this loss than he would if it was a win. Because if it's a win, it's more of a personal thing, and if it's a loss, like, and I'm sure he would have figured out a way to make it a really amazing thing if he had won, obviously. But being that he lost, like, there's a story in it. It's something that a lot of people can relate to going through adversity in their lives. Like, the lesson isn't about winning; it's how do you respond in that loss, and it's by teaching his son, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you can face this, and you'll fall flat on your face, but you can still be proud of yourself for trying, and you can still get up and you can still face the next day. And like he says a lot, it's like that sun's going to go down and it's going to come right back up the next morning with opportunities and different, um, different things that will present themselves to help make yourself a better person, to help other people, and whatever it is. And Michael ended up losing, and it impacted my life in a way that I never thought that it could. And it's like, sometimes you need to see that thing. Sometimes there needs to be a little bit of a sting for it to kind of remember, like, okay, it's not all about the titles. It's not all about the victories. It's about the how you can grow along the way and how you respond to those losses. But
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty neat. It was a super fun experience. I'm definitely gonna go back to another UFC event, and you're gonna come with next time. We'll figure it
Oh,
out how
for
to get you
sure.
there.
For sure. We'll figure it out. Sell the truck or something. Bet it on black.
Bet it on black, see what happens. But I don't know if you had any things that kind of came to mind as I was talking about that. Anything that you relate to, or anything where you could apply that to your life, saying, "Hey, well, that this was a loss in my life, but it didn't mean that I had to stop or give up."
Oh, I mean, every time I'm on, I talk about like breakups and stuff like that, or like,
It's important.
yeah, no, yeah. So like that's like, and you like going through like a breakup or like a parent's divorce. It's like I've done a lot of reflecting and stuff, and like I would never go back and change it or like take it back because I wouldn't be like who I am today without that. Like even like a mutual breakup that like it hurt, it still hurt, but you like being with that person for like so long, it's I still learn from that person. It's still like there's still great things to take away from that, and you
Mm-hmm.
can apply it to your life, even if it ended, it sucked. But then you can look now that you're like, mentally sane, you can look back and go like, all right, yeah, like this, and this was great. This and this and this I need to change. You know, using that and like the parents' divorce side is like they're both better off now. They're both happy and they're doing great. Like I'm happy for both of them. And like yeah, like going through that like as a kid in like high school was like tough to like navigate and like figure out like that's in other episodes that we talked about that more. But like and it wasn't my fault. It's not none of our faults. And like you can't blame it on you really at all because like I said, it's not our fault, and you can't like I wouldn't change it because
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have the mindsets I have now going through those things.
Right. It's something that you kind of take for granted, or some things that you kind of just grow complacent to. Like, you never think
Hmm.
that your parents are going to be the ones that aren't going to, last. Their marriage isn't going to last forever.
Hmm.
And I agree. Like you said, like, stuff happens. Nobody's happy about the way that it happened, but everybody's better off now as a result because we've all learned from it. Like,
Hmm.
it's almost like there's a gift within the grind, and we didn't have to see that gift. We could have just been victims of it. We could have been sad and depressed for the rest of our lives and say, well, if this didn't work out, then how is it going to work out for me? But being that
Yeah,
it didn't, it's like, I'm able to learn from this, and I'm able to grow from this, and still, love both sides of
yeah.
the
I
coin.
think I can't remember who I was. It was either Jack or Grant or Bird or somebody because like I've said in the last episode, like a lot of my friends like their parents are divorced, and I was like, do you think we'll see a higher do you think we'll see like marriage rates go up or just continue to go down. Because as like my mindset, like seeing my parents go through a divorce, like I go, like that's not an option. Like I don't want that to ever happen. And like, sometimes it's not. Like I might not have a choice. Like I could go through divorce, and it's not my choice.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm like, but it definitely gives you a different mindset, like in the dating world, and like picking and trying to find your person. You
Mm-hmm.
try to match up more or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But if that makes sense.
Yeah, with like values and things that are important to you. Yeah.
100%.
Because
Yeah.
you're never gonna find the person that's exactly,
No.
in everything that you're into. And I think it's important to have different likes and interests too,
hmm
because
I've
if
learned
you
that.
have
Yeah, I'm definitely learning that for sure.
mm-hmm. Because like Courtney and I,
It's your cup,
is that from Matt's wedding? I think it's or Caleb. It's
Caleb.
Caleb's wedding. Funny.
Yeah.
Why is it? Yeah, one thing I
You
missed
want
when I moved out. Yeah, maybe.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, $20. It's all yours.
Yeah. Well, so I have yeah, $20. It's in my room, but every time it's like when I go through stages where I don't clean my room and it's just a pigsty, and I have like 6 cups like filled with water, and
Mm-hmm.
mom's like, "Where are all the cups?" So I brought them all up. I just made her sound like, "Oh, where are all the cups, Mama? Love you, love you." I walked upstairs and like, like you don't see anything. Like I put them all away. I washed them. Like I filled another cup up with water. So where are you going? I said, my name's on the cup. It's mine. I'll bring this one downstairs if I want to.
Oh, that's funny.
She's like, you got a point. Like, yeah, see?
I do what I want with it.
Yeah.
That's funny. But you do. That is a really good point. Like different kids our age growing up with divorced parents, you wonder if the trend is going to continue, if it's going to get worse, because that is part of the statistic, and I believe is you're at a higher rate of getting into a divorce if you are of divorced parents. You won't
Yeah.
quote me on that, but it's something that I've heard.
No,
But I think it's
it
go ahead.
sounds right. But yeah, like maybe not. Obviously, no one thinks the same that I think, the same that you think. Everybody has their different opinions and different stuff. And I feel like,
And that's why we do this.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's why we do this. We have these conversations because your opinion and your perspective is different than mine, and I can learn from it. But
hmm Yeah, and I feel like like we said in previous podcasts, we're problem solvers. So I see a problem like divorce. It's a problem. So I was like, okay, how do I make sure that doesn't happen? But again, it can't. I might not have that choice,
yeah, you're
but I
not
can do the
immune.
best. I can try to not let it happen. I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what you got to
So.
give yourself credit for, as long as you are trying. Because I think there are people who do go through divorce or do go through breakups and think it was a loss or that it was something that they did, and maybe it was. But as long as you're doing, like, as long as you're trying, man, I think that's people don't give themselves enough credit for that. They think they're a failure if they don't go to the gym, or they think they're a failure if they're not eating healthy 24/7, or if they get a little frustrated when they have to change your baby's diaper. It's like you're doing it, man. Like
hmm
you're
And
living this thing.
that strikes a chord in my brain because that's what got me like into working out was Derek White Win the Minute, and
Hmm.
like how I found him was like just a couple videos popping up, and then I he asked questions one day, so I typed in, and I was like, if we are our own worst enemies, what was it? Why can't I think of it now? Is it if we are our own worst enemies, how do you stay out of your own brain? How do you fix that? And he's like, yeah, you're your own worst enemy, but you're also your own best friend, and sometimes your only friend. And he like went on and like talk about that, but then he was at the end of it, he's like, you got to give yourself credit because you tried. Like you woke up, got out of bed, and you tried. I was like, you're right. Like
Hmm.
I am trying, even if it's like I give 5% today. I tried. That's all I had left in my tank. Tried.
Hmm.
I would wake up in the morning, go to work. Like you go to work. You have a kid now. It's like still trying to. You have 5% brain power left, and you still hit the gym. You're still trying. Maybe you just walked on the treadmill, did 20 push-ups at the end of the night. You're still trying,
Hmm.
and like it may seem like insignificant,
There
but
you
like
go. That's
it's
the
like
one.
yeah, words, but like is and I can try it again. Insignificant things, like little, like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It all adds up. Like the book I'm reading. Um, One second, I forgot what it's called.
I just noticed your deer has a hat on. I love that.
There, dude. We're matching. Yeah, I'm gonna see how long it took you to notice because I got a lot of hats. I could do like 130 episodes with a new hat.
Of each hat? Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
but the book I'm reading is Slight Edge, and it's the small steps and the small things you can do in life add up over time to become great things, like
Mm.
gym. You know, start gym. It becomes repetitive, becomes a habit. Then you're just like, well, I'm in great shape. Eating healthy, get healthier. You know, that type of stuff.
Little by little, as long as you're still going, win the minute.
Still, yeah, still trying to win the minute. Yeah, minute.
Hmm.
Yep.
And that's cool. And I'm really happy that you brought that up because it's something that I was thinking of too. And it's that um, continual pursuit of something. And some people, and I've talked about this before with like my mountain tattoos and the mountain range. It's it's something continually to be chasing, continually to be looking for to better yourself, or just not stopping and becoming complacent where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be very tiring to be looking for always the next best thing of okay, I got to go do this, or okay, now I'm at the top here. Now what do I got to do and go over here? And that's not what I mean. And to bring it back to like relationships, we've all at least you and I can talk for you and I. We've been with a girl, we've been with somebody that we thought was the one,
Mm-hmm.
probably multiple times. We've had a job, we've had a career in mind that we thought was the one multiple times. There's different things in our lives. There's different and multiple the ones, and I still think those situations, those people, those careers, those choices that we made were the ones. I think they are still the ones. They were just not meant to be forever. They were the ones
Mm-hmm.
for us at that time in our life. Um, I dated a girl in high school, and I wanted to go to a different college, and the rep from Pensacola Christian College, came and talked to us, and she was like, we need to go to Florida. I'm really feeling called to Florida. I'm like, I don't want to go all the way to Florida. And she ended up talking me into it, and we went to Florida for school. Caleb and Matt came down too, and it was a great time. But she left after 1 year. I went back again, and she didn't, and that was kind of the end of the relationship. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought she was the one, and she wasn't. But I continued to pursue that at the time. I'm at this college now, and I'm thinking this college is the one. I'm going to graduate. It's going to be great. Um, while I'm there, our parents get divorced. And that was a
Yep.
really difficult time in my life. And it was a very difficult time to have to lose the relationship that I had with that girl. Like things that were really difficult. There were losses, or I thought there were losses at the time. I thought I was Michael Chandler in the octagon getting my face cracked by Patty Pimblett, thinking, my son is in attendance watching me. Like this could not be any more difficult. The divorce happens, and if I was home at the time, I think it would have gone a lot worse. I think I would have been around the people that I was upset with during that time, and I would have tried to change things, and I would try to force things, and I would have been really upset about different things that I wouldn't be able to do,
Mm-hmm.
career wise, without getting too deep into it. And like, Dad ended up coming down to Florida, to Tampa for like a little vacation, and I hadn't really talked to him. It'd been a couple weeks or months. I don't remember how
Mm-hmm.
long it was. Um, and he wanted to meet up, so I drove 2 hours and I met him halfway somewhere and just kind of hung out and got like his perspective. And he apologized and everything, and like it was a moment that I really needed with him. It was kind of the first moment that he was no longer my dad; he was more my friend. He's
Mm-hmm.
still my dad. I love my dad. I love my mom immensely. Um, and everything has healed since this time, and I think it is big in part to where I was at that time in my life down in Florida, because after having that like hangout session and that conversation with him, like driving back to school, I'm like shaking for some reason. I don't know why, but my blood sugar's good. I think it's just an emotional thing. But
Yeah.
Confession by Florida Georgia Line was playing, and like the sun was going down, and I was like, it's like I can't remember the exact lyrics, but it talks about like, but there's a part in it where it made me like reflect. The guy in the windshield looking back looks just like me, but there's a crack in the reflection. hope he's moving in the right direction. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the lyrics are the guy in the windshield looking back looks just like me, but there's a crack in the reflection. Hope he's moving in the right direction. And like driving on this highway back to Pensacola with the sunset going down, and I really love sunsets at the time too. So like it really just was a very emotional time for me. I was crying, and like had I not had that like aha moment or that healing moment of understanding like this is a very crappy situation for my entire family, and that was like the first moment where I thought like I think we're gonna be okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be able to get through this. I'm gonna be able to get through this in my portion of it, and like had I not been down in Florida, had I not had that moment of that 2 hour reflection period, listening to Florida Georgia Line, watching the sun go down, my window roll down, like I don't know, like I was supposed to be there, and it wasn't where I wanted to be, and
Mm-hmm.
like the girl that got me
That's
there,
yeah. So that's like that's a very very surreal moment, and like now obviously not like as like a severe like moment, but I felt that same exact thing at the Kip Moore concert in Mankato. We're like just crazy stars going, Kip's up there just playing. I can't remember what song it was though, but I remember looking around and being like, "Yeah, it's fine. Like we'll figure it out." Like I
mm-hmm.
feel at peace. Like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the direction I'm supposed to be going. Like it's gonna be okay.
With your previous relationship
Yeah,
in
yeah, correct.
regards to
Yes.
that, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's
You were there. Dad and Renee were there. They're just like, this is, yeah, it was great.
because that was I think you were a little nervous about going back there too because that's where a lot of time was spent with this person in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and going and being there, yeah, it is very surreal.
Yeah, and it's like because we have a ton of history in Mankato, and
Mm-hmm.
like I had all those memories of training camp and stuff, and those kind of they didn't get replaced, but I had more memories like stacked on top of it. So it's like yeah, I'm going to a place I love, but it's also a place that it's like you well, I walked down that sidewalk, whatever. We
Mm-hmm.
went to the game there, whatever, and whatnot. But then yeah, they were definitely nervous. We popped over the hill, I could see it, and I was just like, Mankato, we're back. Like I haven't been here in a minute. Because it was like
Mm-hmm.
every 2 weeks I'd drive down there. But yeah, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
very yeah, grateful I got to do that
Right.
and stuff. But yeah, like that situation or like that feeling, it's almost like it's almost like you're sitting there and like we're both um Christian men. It's almost like God just like putting his hand on your shoulder, like whatever you're feeling right now, like in your brain, because in the chatterbox going off, and he's just like, "I got you. Like, just, just keep, just keep going. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be fine. I got you."
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you got to put an effort to do so.
Right. You got to continue that pursuit and continue looking for those avenues and those opportunities
Mm-hmm.
and continuing from there. Like, and I appreciate the input because you can relate exactly to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly it. Like you thought she was the one, and she was for that time in your life.
Mm-hmm.
That situation you were meant to go through, it was given to you as an opportunity to grow. And looking back from that point on, like I was able to still continue to go to school and not have those memories of her like being there with her haunt me. I was able to move on and
Mm-hmm.
try to be the quarterback for the flag football team because I'd been receiver at different positions before that, and I ended up doing it and had a blast doing it. And
Yeah.
from there, like finding out that my accreditation wasn't going to meet the requirement for Minnesota Post Board coming back here to be a police officer, so I had to stop and start over and come back here. And at first, I was like, man, this is the absolute worst. Like, why are these things happening to me? Why is just going boom, 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 like continually? Like, it's just not going my way. Things aren't going as planned. I'm failing.
Yeah.
And I I got back in March, worked for a little bit, and then it was getting close to summertime, and I ended up finding a different job. And no, I was working. I can't remember where exactly I was working. No, I worked the summer mowing lawns, and as fall kind of hit, and people were getting ready to go back to school, and people had just graduated and stuff. I was trying to figure out, okay, now what am I going to do with my life? I got to get back into CLC. I went back to Grandview because
Mm-hmm.
Kelby, our boss at the time, was like, "Hey, man, I know you're not going back to school because of the situation. I know you're going to be in town. Do you want to come work for me? I just lost like all my full timers to school. We only have a couple people working here now. I went from like 12 to like 3. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll come hang out, pick up some hours, and I go there and guess who's working?
Your wife.
My wife was working that day, and like it just again comes all full circle. It's like you were supposed
Mm-hmm.
to go to Florida to get you through these different times in your life, to also get away from this girl because that's not who I have for you. I'm like, and had I not gone, maybe I would have ended up with her, and my life would have been completely different and not what
Yeah.
it is now.
And like the crazy thing is, like that was your first job. Grandview was your first job. You trained in Kelby, and then like I started working there, and then you left, and it's like to come back. What decisions did you make to end up back there? What decisions did other people make for you to end up back there? Like what decisions did Courtney make to come there? That's what blows my mind. Like Jack can make a decision tomorrow that could affect my life in 5 years.
Right.
You know, it just blows my mind. I just
Uh
don't
huh.
understand it. But like, that's like we grew up washing windows. Kind of a sidebar, but like Cody, he also grew up washing windows with our dads. Like our dads were partners washing windows,
Mm-hmm.
and then Cody's just randomly at Zorba's, and this guy's like, "You wash windows?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You want a job?" Sure. Then we go work for him. You know,
Uh
just
huh.
what?
And it unlocks all this stuff. Yeah, because Cody did that. I'm now not afraid to crawl around on my roof. I'm not afraid to
Hmm.
crawl around on ladders because I got to work with Casey and do those different
Yeah,
things. So
and
it's
then
like,
yeah, learning all that ladder experiences ties in great for construction. Like my
mm-hmm.
first day, I set up the ladder, and my boss was like, "Nope, don't do that." I was like, "I know ladders. Like this, I'm probably gonna die from a ladder because I said that." But I was just like,
Yeah.
"Nah, dude, this is good." Like I see the sketchy things I've done on a ladder.
Uh huh. And at one time, maybe you thought it was, you were going to be working doing Windows for the rest of your life. You maybe thought that was the one, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not. But it doesn't mean you still didn't learn from it. And
Mm-hmm.
coming back from school and meeting Courtney and getting to know her more, like I also got to get to know her dad, like CC
I
Inc.
have a bunch of shirts and stuff for Cody.
CC Inc. Not a sponsor yet.
Yeah, no free shoutouts.
No free shout outs. But also coming back from getting to know Courtney a little bit more, like trying to get into law enforcement. Like her dad was in the administration for the county that I was really interested in working at, and had I graduated Pensacola, I would have got there maybe too late. I would have missed Courtney, and I would have got there too late. And when I get to know the people that I did in the way that I did, because sometimes in law enforcement, it's about who you know, especially back when it was really difficult to get a job. And I know that he had
Mm-hmm.
a hand in helping me get started in my career. And a lot of people may have viewed that as negatively or not fair, but if that's you, I don't care.
Yeah,
Find a different podcast to listen to. This one's
yeah.
not it for you. This is the one for some people, it might not be for you, but and huge shout out to him for helping me out. But it's just a ripple effect, And I got into the accident in the squad, and I thought my life was over. Sartell didn't work out. I thought things were all gonna just go downhill, but all these little things got me to where I am now at the jail. And right now, it really feels like the one. And maybe it's not. Maybe someday something different's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
this all ties into um, Volkanovski at the end of the UFC 314, the title fight. The fight after Michaels, the one that saved my sanity for the rest of the night. Volkanovski, he got his belt back, and he's like 36, 37 years old, I think. And there's some curse saying that if you're over 35, it's very difficult to become a champion in the UFC, especially again. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you're getting a little older; it's going to be difficult. But one thing that Alexander Volkanovski said on the mic was, "Adversity is a privilege. It gives you an opportunity to keep looking for something else, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do with that opportunity." You can
Mm-hmm.
look back at all these bulls in your life, all these things that seem, like this is BS. This is, why is this happening to me? I'm going to be a victim of my own circumstance, and I'm just going to sit down and go, woe is me. I don't care anymore. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to try to keep doing what I want to do. I'm not going to keep pursuing this person. You could, I give up. I quit. It's a privilege, and it provides those opportunities for us to keep going. And it all goes back to, again, Kit Moore, the song,
Mm-hmm.
The Bull. We look back at all those bulls, and like I said, you could say it's BS, or you can say, hey, thanks for bucking me off. Thanks to each and every single bull that has bucked me off in my life, because it made me who I am today, and it's going to help me make my son, it's going to help me make people around me better people through it. And that's a choice, a conscious choice to continually pursue the things in life regardless of fear, of failing. I might fall flat on my face, but I'm going to learn something as a result of it. I
Mm-hmm.
may apply to this job and I might hate it, but it may get me to another job as a result of it. And another thing just
Yeah.
came to my mind. I was working for a guy when I came back. Awful. Was not a great guy to work for. Great guy outside of work. He made me miserable. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was texting dad. I don't think I can work for this guy anymore. I hate it. Mowing lawns and stuff, doing like cabin cleanup. And in comes Wade, this guy that works not too far from where mom lives, off of County Road 1 there. Walks in and he's like, man, I just can't get enough good help these days. And dad was like, are you kidding me? I'm literally talking to my son who wants to work somewhere else. And
Yeah.
it just so happened, he walked in and wanted me to work for him. But I was mowing prior to that, so it got me more experience. It was just like, ding, 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 ding. Oh, here you go. It's like,
Yep.
oh, thanks for bucking me off, man, because it landed
Mm-hmm.
me here, and I'm happy for it.
Yeah, like that. And that goes back to what decision did Wade make to walk into that? Was it gas station? Was it a holiday
I know he
or
walked
something like
into a
that?
preferred pump, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. That and why was he there that day? What happened in his day? That- He was just randomly talking to dad.
That's
But
crazy.
another quote. Grant said it to me the other day. I can't remember who it is, but he said something about it was like if you were 12 failures away from success, how fast would you fail? And you think about that, you're like, oh, it's got to fail 12 more times, and then I did it. How fast, like, if you 12 more times, you get a mansion on Go Lake and you have a Lamborghini. How fast would you fail? That's very materialistic, but it's relatable
Hmm.
to people
It
like,
is.
yeah, I want a Lamborghini. I want a freaking house on the lake. Yeah, same. If you were to fail 12 more times, you get that. How fast would you do it? I'd do it tomorrow.
Bring on the failure.
Yeah, bring it
That's
on.
that's a really good point, and I think he actually sent that to me that night after the fight, and I was just like, "Yeah, you're right." Like,
Yeah.
that's an awesome quote. Yeah, it puts it into perspective, because then you're like, now you're not worried about the failure. Now you're not worried about falling flat on your face, because if you do it this many times, you're gonna finally pull through. And I was thinking about that too. I was like, because Chandler has this mentality of, see you at the top. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna continue to be happy, regardless of if I fall flat on my face. I'm gonna continue to pursue, with reckless abandon, to try to just be the best that I can be. And
Mm-hmm.
he's been very confident that he's going to get UFC gold one day. And who knows? Maybe he will. Maybe he can still turn it around, and maybe he won't. But I got to thinking, because yeah, he says like, see you at the top, and he's so like gung ho that things are going to work out. But it's like, what happens if they don't? Are you just going to be continually losing
Mm-hmm.
until, like, what do you do with that? And that was something that really hit me when I was thinking about this podcast and everything. And it's just like, no, it's really, that's not what it's about. And maybe people are thinking, well, I've been continually trying this, I've been continually pursuing this, and life keeps pushing me flat on my face. Like, I don't understand why I can't catch a break. Um, and I think that's where time heals things. I think you just got to continue to wait it out and just continue to do your thing. You don't have to be, if you're in a breakup, you don't have to continually like, okay, I need to get to the next girl as quickly as I can, because I got to quickly fix this. I'm on a
Yeah.
path. I'm on a path of continual pursuit. It's like, if that process looks different for everybody, and it may not look the way that I've explained or the way that you've explained or experienced, but just that continuing moving forward, like forward progress. Sometimes it's going to be one step in front of the other and repeat. Like, that is very monotonous, very slow, but that constant, continuous consistency is more important than if you were to try to go all in and then exhaust yourself and say, what, I forget it. It's not working out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and sometimes it looks like two steps forward, one step back, and a lot of people view that one step back as a failure or a loss. But in all reality, sometimes that two step forward and that one step back gives you opportunity to kind of look and go, okay, is this the way I'm supposed to be going? Oh, what's this door right here that I missed? Oh, whoa! Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have seen it had you not taken that step back, or have been forced to take a step back in life. And another analogy, Stephen Furtick's talked about it before, when a lot of times it feels like you're being pulled back. That thing in life is pulling you back, and you're just like, man, why am I held back? Why is this not working? Why am I not able to graduate here? Why am I not able to be with this girl? Why am I not able to get this job right? And a lot of times you're being pulled, and then God's going and just launching you like an arrow in the next part of your life, because you've taken all these things and grown into the best person that you could be, and He's going to use you for the next chapter in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that next thing right now. It's loading. It's getting loaded. You just gotta keep fighting for it, because at the end of the day, like, what other option do you have? You're just gonna sit on the couch and feel sorry for yourself, like. And I apologize if that's somebody out there listening right now, and I really hope that it's not. But if it is, like, reach out to somebody, reach out to myself, reach out to Jonas, like, try to find something to get you up off onto your feet. Even if it is one step at a time, it's not going to feel like it's much, but it's going to make the world a difference. And then looking back, you're going to go, wow, I took one step at a time for, a million steps. You're going to be pretty dang far away from that couch and that self that was
Mm-hmm.
feeling sorry for themselves.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
adversity, it's a privilege. Like Volkanovski said, I had never heard that before. And I think that wraps up everything we've been talking about. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's bulls, they're going to buck you off and it's going to suck, but you can still look back and thank them and say, hey, thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for helping make me into who I am today. Thank you for carrying me into this next chapter of my life and who I'm supposed to be, because I'm learning something from this. It's not a loss. It's not a failure. You are still the one. The situation is still the thing. This job is still the one, just not for me anymore. It was at one point in my life. It's part of my story and it forever will be, but I'm continuing to move forward in my life to be the best that I can be, and that is including the losses. It is including the blood on my face from the knees, the Patty Pimblett. Like, it's
Yeah.
all those things included, even if it
Mm-hmm.
looks really bad. And I kind of wrap this all into a photo, and I'm gonna make it the cover art of the episode. But I think I've showed it to you already. It's gonna be really
Yeah.
hard to see, but it's a guy walking with his son. I, I sent this to Jonas, and he's like, "Wait, is that you and me?"
Yeah.
Who would that be, me or would that be you?
No, it's definitely me. The look is definitely me. But I mean,
Oh, you can see the bull now in the distance, and the clouds say "See you" at the top. But then next to them are material things. There's a UFC belt behind them. There's trophies. There's um helmets and a sword, boxing gloves, and stuff. Like, you're gonna be able to keep going through life. You're gonna be able to keep climbing those mountains and look back. And the sun is rising in this photo too, because like I said, the sun sets and it's gonna rise again in the morning, and you're gonna be able to go on a
mm,
walk, and you're gonna be able to make a difference, and you're gonna be able to grow. And I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool.
no, dude, a late podcast is definitely not the move.
What time is it?
So towards the end, there, I was just like,
Yeah, it's almost midnight, so we can wrap it up. This was good. Helped me kind of get all my thoughts out, and if you didn't get something from it, if everybody else didn't get something from it, I was able to reflect on a lot of stuff in my life and really
mm-hmm,
appreciate it more. A lot of gratitude, even for things that I didn't think I was going to have gratitude for after the fact. A lot of tears, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, and it's something they could look back and be thankful for,
mm-hmm,
which is really neat. Just kind of makes life a lot more meaningful, a lot more purpose filled, which is kind of the goal here. So appreciate you being on, man, and listen to me blabber on and putting in your own input. I appreciate your perspective,
I
and
appreciate you having me on. I'm so stoked that this thing is gonna be fully loaded when we hit done.
you are at 99%. You can rest easy.
Crazy behavior.
All right, my guy. All right,
Yeah.
Jonas Belter, everybody. Jonas Belter, everybody. Stay sharp out there.